Okay, here's another example. So again, we can only work on one side, so let's think about which side we would want to work on. Well, from our directions it says start with the most complicated side. Obviously that's going to be this side up on the left. Combine fractions with a common denominator. Already one fraction there, really can't combine it. Can I make a trig identity? Possibly, but nothing is just jumping to mind, especially when you have both tangent and cotangent. Can I rewrite in terms of sine and cosine? Well, let's try that. Let's try the 1 plus tangent. So we have 1 plus sine of x over cosine of x all over 1 plus cosine of x over sine of x. Okay, now I have improper fractions here. I have a complex fraction because I have a fraction within a fraction. Can I now make this one common fraction so I have a numerator over denominator instead of a mixed number up here? Well, what would my common denominator need to be for the numerator? It would need to be, I would need something over cosine of x. Remember, we can think of this as 1 being over 1, that one being over 1. So if I multiply this bottom times cosine of x, I have to multiply the top times cosine of x. Well, same thing here, except for what do I need the denominator to be? I need it to be sine of x, which means I have to multiply the top times sine of x. So simplifying, we get cosine of x times 1 over cosine of x times 1. So that 1 is the same thing as cosine of x over cosine of x plus sine x over cosine of x. That's in my numerator. Now my denominator, 1 over 1 times sine x over sine x, ends up being sine of x over sine of x plus cosine of x over sine of x. Well, now that I have the same denominator, I can combine those. When I combine the numerators here, I get cosine of x plus the sine of x all over the cosine of x divided by, and same thing here, sine of x plus cosine of x all over sine x. Now be careful here, don't kill kittens. I can't just cancel these here. I would need to take it out of there as well. So when I have a fraction divided by a fraction, that's the same thing as multiplying by the reciprocal. So we're going to take the reciprocal of the numerator, reciprocal of the denominator. So the cosine of x plus sine x over cosine of x times the reciprocal of this, which becomes sine x over sine of x plus cosine of x. Now I'm multiplying. I could distribute through, but I should see, oh look, I have cosine of x plus sine x, and I have sine of x plus cosine x. Remember, addition is commutative, so I could rewrite this as cosine of x plus sine x, and it doesn't change anything, just like 5 plus 3 is the same thing as 3 plus 5. And then I can cancel those, which leaves me with sine of x over cosine of x. But what is sine of x over cosine of x? That's tangent of x. And if we look back up here, that's what we were trying to verify. So tangent of x equals tangent of x, and we are done.